And yes, Charli D'amelio at the tender age of 16 managed to become one of the most famous teenagers in the world on her own merit and thanks to social media. In addition, she made herself and her entire family millionaires. Literally the dream for many people. Many people also think that she hit the lottery because not only did she earn millions of dollars thanks to all this, but also a lot of fame and power over many teenagers. But well, yes, today I will be talking about all of that and also mostly about the high cost of fame because everything that goes up has to come down. And yes, let's talk about the fall of Charli D'amelio's career. But before we start, don't forget that I have other social networks where I also upload super cool content, and also Juana Maria, good little dogs of good or evil.
Let's look at this.
Case. The beginning of everything. Charli started to become very viral on the internet in 2019, right? She says every time she checked her phone, her follower count increased by about 100,000. Or, she would literally go to sleep and the next day she would wake up with 300,000 more followers. That's how fast she was growing, and it wasn't just her who noticed, but the people around her and other influencers. She started collaborating with other super famous influencers. Super famous YouTubers. This accelerated her growth. She even joined the Hype House, a residence for content creators. The most famous TikTokers at the time, Juana Maria and Charli, collaborated a lot, which helped them grow their followers even more, especially Juana Maria, who had the most followers.
My friend is such a bitch.
Our beloved Charli was living the time of her life, and her parents saw it as an opportunity to make money. And they said, look, our time has come. Because besides that, Charli's father has always been a businessman. He even got into politics, Juana Maria, because he is a man who says he was born to be a boss, that he was born to be a multimillionaire. His dream is to be a billionaire, Juana Maria. And he saw Charli as an opportunity to reach that dream.
My time has come.
Her first big collaboration was with Dunkin'.
Donuts. I don't know if I pronounced it right or wrong, Susanna, or sorry.
But it made a lot of sense because she literally, in all her videos, came out with Dunkin' Donuts coffee. There was sense in that collaboration. So people took that collaboration very well. Juana Maria, I have repeated many times, the word collaboration,
Shut your mouth.
2020 was a very difficult year for many people. But on the contrary, for many influencers, it was the best thing that could have happened to them because many new people, well, more than influencers, TikTokers, because millions of new people started to download TikTok because, everyone was at home. We weren't doing anything. For example, at the beginning, Susanna, TikTok made me cringe a lot. I was that typical person who said, I will never in my life have TikTok. That makes me cringe. Secondhand embarrassment. Susanna, well, in 2020, I became addicted to TikTok. I opened my TikTok account under a different name. After a few months, I began posting short videos that weren't mine. Susanna Gay Silence. Well, let me tell you, all of this in 2020 made Charli grow exponentially. Susanna, my girl, the sensation of the block. Her parents fully leveraged the situation, seeking out one of the top management teams in the United States. That not only takes her on, but also super big celebrities whose names I don't know right now. But those people are literally some of the most important in the industry. At only 17, her life turned into work. Charli left school and started working. You can say that. It's great that Susanna traveled to various locations for photos and other reasons. But when it's something that is every day, they literally had her day planned from head to toe. They literally have it in the series they have on Hulu. Her reality can be seen in the reality show on Hulu, although not in the series. I was impressed by a scene where it was shown where her management team was talking to her about all the things they wanted to do for the year 2021. It wasn't the year 2021 yet, and they already had folders planned month by month. What Charli was going to do, and folders of this fat guy, Susanna, with all the things that Charli was going to do month by month. Every moment of Charli's day was planned.
I think
this is definitely a lot more stuff than I thought I was doing. In recent interviews, she discusses the challenges she faced during that period, despite others potentially viewing her as fortunate. She was very fortunate, but she says she didn't live those teenage years. That's 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. She didn't enjoy those years as she would have wanted to. Because it was work, work, work all the time, constantly. She says she was only surrounded by adults. Being just a teenager, she was surrounded by adults and the few friends she hung out with. Afterwards, she felt they excluded her. The few that remained as true friends ended up betraying her in the end, so they were never really friends at all.
I spent like 15, 16, 17, 18.
In important years when you make friends, go to college, go to the
School, all that, locked up by a bunch of adults. And
yes, she didn't enjoy that part of adolescence, and she says she felt very bad seeing her friends who were going to college, who were going to school, this and that, who were enjoying their life as teenagers, and she just had to work and maintain that perfect image, and that no one is perfect in the world, right? And much less her. So when you're a teenager, the last thing you are is perfect, you know? Also in that reality show, you can see the tension that so much work caused in them, right? First of all, it almost caused Charlie's parents to divorce in the second place. The fights between the mom. With Dixie, another Juana Maria style. The dad with the mom, the dad with the girls, the dad with the mom, the dad with the girls. Not just all the work they had to do, but also to say the right words, because everything can be taken out of saying the right words, because everything can be taken out of, and I am here talking a lot about Charlie, but obviously for his sister, it was also a huge pressure, Juana Maria, but for that reason. Let's talk about their businesses, right? Many of their failed businesses, which obviously I won't be talking about all, but many of their failed projects.
mother has already failed.
First, we'll discuss the singing project I mentioned about Sister Susanna. They attempted to turn Charlie into a singer, but Charlie's passion was always dancing. That's why she became popular on TikTok. Well, apart from being very pretty, a girl with whom many girls identified, or many girls dreamed of having the life that Charlie had, and because Charlie knows how to dance very well, and well, her sister's thing was always music. Well, at the beginning, not music. And the sister, she sings quite well, music, and the sister, she sings quite well. She always had that little talent for music, which she was embarrassed to exploit. So on her sister's part, she felt good because she had found what separated her from her sister, because everyone was like, it's true, and she admits it herself. But also her. It's true, and she admits it herself, but also she had already managed to have that which was hers. Right? Like separating from her sister in certain things. And well, at the moment that Charlie's management team and parents decided that Charlie should also release songs, because they said Charlie is quite famous, she will do super well in music. Susanna and behind her sister's back, they started to make a song. Well, the first song of Charlie, right? The sister was extremely upset upon learning about the situation. Firstly, because they hid it from her, and secondly, that you would get angry. If you had thought that she would get angry, if you had thought that she wouldn't get angry, they would have told her from the beginning, but obviously they didn't tell her because they knew it was something she wouldn't like at all. Susanna, that's not done, and I'm not going to stay quiet because obviously the music, anyone can create music, but it's understandable to feel frustrated when you have your own passion and see your sibling succeeding in it. She's giving her all in everything, in each thing your sister gets into. She's giving her all, which is music. Your sister also knows what music is and wants to get involved there. It must be frustrating for you, Susanna. Charlie released her song, which was a huge flop. Susanna, the song, honestly, I don't feel I never heard it enough. Obviously, I know there are people who never heard it enough. Obviously, I know there must be people who liked it. But the song also never had much success. Charlie's musical career ended there due to her strong desire to sing. Susanna didn't have a genuine desire to sing or be a singer. It was simply for the money. Since she didn't give them what they wanted, they said Charlie doesn't want to be a singer anymore. And the worst part is that nowadays, not even her sister is dedicating herself to music. Truthfully, music is not an easy path. No matter how famous you are, that an easy path, no matter how famous you are, that's what they are.
They understood it. The youth is very well prepared to...
Early in their career, Charlie and his sister Susanna launched a makeup line despite the girls not wearing makeup themselves. Unsurprisingly, the collaboration was unsuccessful at that time. Were there any sales? Yes, they sold well, Susanna, but not as much as expected. They were hoping to sell because at that time, Charlie had like about 90 million followers. The sister 50 million of about 90 million followers. The sister 50 million of like that. And no, it wasn't like that because it was something that had nothing to do with her. She had nothing to do with what Charlie was selling on social media. Charlie's coffee did so well and sold so much that she was always drinking that coffee. So it made sense for Charlie to collaborate with that coffee brand. But now, Susanna, you come here to launch a makeup brand with some girls who didn't even wear makeup at that time. That at the time, obviously it didn't make sense, so it didn't go well, and they left the makeup collaborations. Another project she wanted to have was a podcast with her sister, and more difficult things, Susanna. It's not easy to have a podcast because you have to entertain a group of people for an hour or more, you know? It's not easy to continuously talk, entertain people, and maintain engaging conversations. Even if you're doing a podcast where it's just you talking, it's not that easy because you have to entertain a group of people, and it's not like you're adding tremendous editing effects as Susanna, tremendous sounds. No, you're there alone, literally there. The only thing that matters is you as an entertainer, Susanna. And well, obviously Charli and her sister, their conversations were too banal, Susanna. They were too much. Too much like, yesterday I had bread with cheese for breakfast. It was literally that, and obviously it didn't go well. And even if they had all the possibilities, to quite famous people, because Dixie herself too, Dixie started interviewing very famous people, but interviewing well-known individuals doesn't guarantee success, Susanna. The problem is that I feel that her management team wanted to get her into everything that people were doing well, right? If people were doing well making podcasts, they wanted to get her into it, knowing that just because it's going well for her audience doesn't mean it's going to go well for her, especially knowing that her audience doesn't follow her because Charli speaks. I mean, literally, if Charli managed to have 100 million followers on TikTok, which I think is a Guinness record for being the first person to reach 100 million followers on TikTok, then what about Susanna? What was her goal, Miss
Jackson.
The way Charli danced, Like what? I don't know. People like how Charli danced. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, people. It's like the video I made about Kylie Jenner. You have to see about the fall of Kylie Jenner's career, Susanna. Kylie Jenner started getting involved in many things unrelated to her personal brand, but let's continue. Then I opened an online clothing line, Susanna, which the clothes are quite tan. The clothes were quite unimpressive. She initially promoted them but stopped because nobody was buying them, Susanna. Nobody cared. Sanathan, I'm telling you, the clothes were quite meh. I don't even know if she's still selling them. But until the last time I looked, yes, Susanna, and the worst part is that it doesn't even seem like they've put their heart into the website, Susanna, because they're still promoting Charli's first song. She's still promoting it despite not having, she continues to promote it. I mean, she doesn't have, like they see something isn't working and they leave it. If you're going to get involved in a project, Susanna, get involved wholeheartedly, get fully involved. Literally, if you want, dedicate a year, 2 years to the creation of that project, because later when you're going to release it, let it be something good. Let people feel that it's something that really goes with you, that it's something you've put your heart into, because I feel that one sees those things, I tell you, it's like the same Hailey Bieber. Even if she has many haters and many people hate her, Susanna, her brand D has a lot to do with her, literally Hailey Bieber, since she became very famous. Susanna has always talked about skincare, about minimalistic makeup. Susanna, that she likes to apply makeup with her hands, not with brushes. So literally Hailey Bieber's brand goes completely with her. That's why people also like it a lot, apart from because it has a lot of quality. And you can see that it's something she's passionate about. You can see that it's something she likes, that they have dedicated time to, right? That is not like they just put the products there to sell. No, you can see that it's something she really wants, Hailey Bieber didn't open 30 brands in a year. No, she dedicated 1-2 years to create a Susanna and then release it, and years to create a Susanna and then release it and make a famous brand. It's like Selena Gomez herself makes a famous brand. It has to do with Selena Gomez, The slogan of Rare Beauty has a lot to do with everything. With Selena Gomez, and it's something she dedicated time to and then to brands at the same time. She is dedicating herself to a brand at the same time. She is dedicating herself to a brand at the same time. She is dedicating herself to a brand. It's her. I don't feel like it's her because she's just following what they tell her. I feel like it's the same management team. That as they want to do is the same management team that as they want in everything. Doesn't matter. Swallow it. We'll put you in a small one. To sell pig, to sell popcorn. I mean the little ones to sell pig, to sell popcorn. I mean the popcorn. Susanna, what can I tell you? When Mr. Beast started selling his chocolate bars, it was more related to him than the popcorn products with Charli D'amelio. What does Charli D'amelio have to do with Mr. Beast's chocolate bars? Selling it at Walmart sparked another huge controversy for Charli. In a promotional video, she pretended to be a Walmart cashier, angering people who felt that the rich were mocking the jobs of the poor. Another failed project of theirs? It was the one with eating with the D'Amelios. Their failed one was the one with eating with the D'Amelios. I think it was about uploading a video of Charli's family eating with some famous guests. The first episode was with James Charles, which was the first and last episode. Susanna, because it was a catastrophic and literally gives me cringe to watch it today, Susanna. Because Charlie's sister was already of age at that time. Susanna is already an adult. She was behaving like a 5-year-old child. I mean, they had a private chef, Susanna, who made them a paella. Then it seems she saw a snail, I don't know what, Charlie's sister on the plate and said, "What is this?" And then she started to act as if she was going to vomit. Then she went out supposedly to vomit. Susanna started to make a huge scene. And then Charlie asked, "Don't they have nuggets?"
Dinosaur?
So people got offended and felt really bad about how the private chef must have felt seeing his food being despised. Because it's true that they acted ugly and that the private chef cooking there, Susanna, the best he can, and they, the girls, pretending to vomit. Susanna, that's horrible. And then what caused the most controversy was because Charlie seemed a bit upset that in a year she reached 95 million followers on TikTok and she wanted to reach 100 million in a year, right? And well, people turned that into a huge show, a huge spectacle that she only cares about the numbers, you know? Like, I don't know, saying she was too sorry because it wasn't her intention to make the chef feel bad or do any of the things they did in general. But people started to throw a lot of hate at her for that. And I tell you, I quite like Charli. I feel she is a very humble girl, Susanna. Of the famous people, one of the humblest in the industry, you know? The most humble ones in the industry, you know? I feel that if certain influencers knew me, they would be kind to me. It's just a feeling I have, Susanna. I believe that their attitudes are not because they are bad people, but because in the end, we are all human beings. Ultimately, one is simply human. Moreover, as a teenager, Susanna, having your mistakes exposed on camera for millions to judge is not easy either. But, well, let's go back to her businesses. Then, well, nothing this worked after selling shoes. Yes, they opened their shoe line, Susanna, nothing to do with Charli. I always liked the shoes that Charli used but to launch her own shoe line, Susanna, what does it have to do? But to launch her own shoe line, Susanna, what does it have to do? About heels. Because they say that as they have to go to many red carpets, they already know, you know how the ones that are comfortable heels, the ones that are not comfortable heels, then start selling those things like it has nothing to do with, you know, like that. I don't understand if it's that their own publicists, their own managers haven't stopped to review what no. The image of Charli, what it is, Charli's personal brand, they haven't. Stop to think about that. That literally, if they had dedicated a year to create something that had to do with dance, something like that, Susanna, they would go so far. That obviously maybe it wouldn't be the target of all the United States. But yes, that the dance, I feel that a good move that they I feel that a good move that they ended up winning in the end. That a lot of people also got angry. They ended up winning in the end, that a lot of people also got angry. Because they said it's not fair that they brought in Charli, that Charli had been dancing for years, you know? And they put her in competition with celebrities who had never danced in their life. It's true that I also felt it was a bit unfair. But well, in the end, she won. And I feel that it was something that went more with her personal image. And Susanna, it goes more with her doing those kinds of things than having her sell shoes. And I tell you, it's not always mandatory for influencers to have to sell things. Sometimes you have nothing to sell, or sometimes it's not your time. Obviously, one can always sell something, Susanna. But when you dedicate time, when you dedicate love, patience, understanding, tenderness.
I need tenderness, love, understanding, and tenderness.
But you know, Susanna, not just for the sake of it, not just to make money, because people can feel that, and then they don't buy anything from you because you do things for money and not for passion, you know? A YouTuber I really like is Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain, a YouTuber I really like, is one of the most influential YouTubers in the United States. She now works with Vogue. Susanna makes videos for Vogue and gives it her all. She's a host at the Met Gala, she really is. For years, she talked about coffee, about how she loves it, na. And then she dedicated a year and a half, na, or 2 years, Susanna, to her coffee brand, Susanna, the coffee she was going to make. Susanna was going to make coffee. Susanna did market research to start selling coffee. Now she also sells matcha. Na, and she's doing quite well, you know? And people are 100% with her because, you know, it's something she really likes, you know? When you get into something just for money, people notice and it shows. That's what's happening with Charli, and I feel it's not her fault. But the mistake of her management team for getting her into everything except the things that really matter to her, and well, that among many other things, Susanna and Charli obviously started to lose interest. in everything that involves creating videos. That's why you could see, I don't know, on YouTube, she had maybe 70,000 views. Susanna's video received 30,000 views, a significant drop from her usual million views per video. On TikTok with 100 million followers, her videos consistently reached 1 million views. She only uploaded videos to promote things, so she no longer got views. Charly was no longer seen with the same consistency. On social media, she was no longer seen with the same love. On social media, she looked tired. In that reality show that Susanna has, you could see her crying. She suffered greatly from anxiety attacks. She gave it to her sister, Susanna, due to the pressure from the hate comments. Obviously, the hate comments had to have a big influence. Obviously, the job had to have a big influence. They had no rest, constantly on the go, and even small mistakes were unacceptable. The whole world would start to eat you alive. Susanna, and to label you with 1,000 names. But something that changed everything was this boy's video, where he explains why he believes in the brand of the... Amelia failed and also gives some tips to regain some of the fame they had at some point.
I have a master's degree in marketing, and I'm eager to discuss why I believe the D'amelio brand has failed.
Charly initially blocked it, and they generally reacted poorly. Then they started to implement some things that he suggested, and suddenly people started to love them again. She's coming back little by little. I feel that when she went to Coachella, that improved her image quite a bit. People loved it. People say Charly came back improved. I feel that she really needed that break. Now she seems to be going out with her friends. Susanna is doing her little things. Susanna is doing things that she is truly passionate about, and I feel that is quite beautiful. So people now notice and comment nice things to her. For a while, people only commented negatively because they saw that they were literally just doing things for money repeatedly. And now you see her doing things that she truly enjoys. What she likes is dancing. And I tell you, it's not mandatory to launch a brand just for the sake of it. You know, you can dedicate time to something and then launch it. You know, it's not mandatory that now that you're doing well, launch it now, because people notice these things, you know? Launching projects with love and passion garners support as people recognize the sincerity behind them. Despite the inevitable hate from some, her Hulu show also faced cancellation. Also, now her show on Hulu also got cancelled due to low ratings. I mean, the first season did quite well. I mean, it got bad reviews. But it had quite a few views, but then the others, and the second season. But it is true that it was a bit slow. It was going a bit slow, and that it was a bit slow. It was going a bit slow, and sometimes it was a bit repetitive. All the things, like her crying because of the hate comments. And also a lot of people were complaining about her reality show on Hulu, because they said it was just watching privileged millionaire girls crying in their mansion for ugly comments. You know, people are like, turn off the phone and your problem is over. But Susanna, what can I tell you? Really, this social media thing is not easy. It's not easy. And I tell you, for me, sometimes when I feel bad, reading a bad comment affects me. I can't imagine her with so many hundreds of bad comments. But I also feel that, Gwen, you're a millionaire. No, just kidding. If you're a millionaire, bitch, you're not allowed to suffer. No, just kidding. But I really hope she's much better and that this has served as a learning experience and that she grows from all of this. The good thing is that she's still too young and has too many resources to in the future be the person that that shows that many times parents and even the management team don't focus on the person, you know, to nothing else, you know? They don't view her as a human being or anything else. They don't view Susan as a person. They treat her like a means to an end. They end up having tremendous anxiety attacks and they end up feeling super bad because after all, they are still teenagers. They are still children. It's like Janet McCurdy when she released her book. She said that obviously at the beginning she did like acting. It was fun. But then there came a time when she felt bad because she did it out of obligation. She did it because she had to be supporting her family. She knew that the moment she stopped doing all those things, Susan... her family would be ruined too because it was not only her but now she also had to support a lot of people, and I feel that on Charly's part she also felt that pressure of not being able to say no to many things because if not her family, who was the one who supported her whole family, but well yes, the one who supported her whole family, but well yes. That's all for this video. I hope you liked it. It's a pretty long video. I always in the analysis videos to ask Susan. They make me suspicious that I feel that you are not going to like it, Susan. That I feel that the video is going to go super bad. But I love these analysis videos. Susan, I feel like she's a crazy woman. Just kidding. I want to start uploading videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Keep an eye out and take care of yourselves if you made it this far. You are a real little dog. Yes, you are. Comment a little black heart, Susan, because today we are emos. No, comment a little black heart if you like this video. Kiss on the Anastasio. I love you all very much and take care.